Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back. Another episode of Be You podcast, part of Supermom's Magic Circle. And today we have Nathalia. She is amazing. You will love my guest. She's a mom's happiness coach. So before I introduce you and we dive in more, because let me tell you, be ready. She is phenomenal. Let me say that also I offer free clarity coaching sessions. So I have two slots. If you feel that you want to take your business to the next level, just send me a fire and then I know that you are ready for that. So let's dive in with Natalia. She is phenomenal. Like I said early on, she is a mom's happiness coach and she wants you to feel re-energized, fulfilled, and happy. And she has a group also that's called Radiant Mamas. She will tell us more about that, that's for sure. So she's dedicated to is a transformational coach, Orosoma consultant, a wife, a mom, and founder of Your Life at 10, a nonprofit dedicated to bring more happiness to the world. Her passion lies in continuous learning and sharing the wisdom learned to help others lead fulfilling lives. So all she's about, it's a case of really go back in and empower you, especially moms. She wants to empower moms to reclaim their identity, to guide them into a transformative journey towards self-empowerment and fulfillment. She definitely wants you to be you. So let's welcome Natalia. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Roxandra. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you as well, and I'm so proud of your work. And I have to say, your mission is so beautiful, and everything you do, I can relate to it 100%. I wish I had someone a few years back to help me to go through all of that. So let's
Me too.
start with you're welcome. Let's start with your journey. So tell us who you are and how did you start your business?
Okay, so I started on a journey on personal development really early on, like around my 20s. I found an organization and I dived to fit in, and we will travel every year to the south of Chile and get like all these personal development workshops. I've done so many fireworks in EPs, like those hit, the mascals, vision quest, leadership, everything, like so much. It was like a very intense period of time. Um, and then life happened. I traveled. I lived in Costa Rica before I came here. With that organization, I became an Orosoma consultant. That is a system of light of color, which is really beautiful. And I also learned belly dancing, but not just like as a show of belly dancing. It was a belly dancing more to reconnect with your feminine side. So then I was a teacher in Costa Rica for 3 years before I moved here to the United States. Then when I moved here, I got married, I have a kid, and I forgot about everything. I really did dedicated all my time, energy, and effort to him. Um, so there was one point that I was like, wait a minute, who am I? Who am I not being a mother, right? Like, you have that realization that someday they're gonna go. But in that moment, he was probably 7 or 8 years old. And I'm like, wait, who am I if I'm not being a mom? So then they started this process of reconnection of the thing, because in that moment, I didn't know what I liked anymore. Like motherhood changes profoundly. So it's not a point of I'm going to go back to who I was, because that's impossible, because you have like now all this knowledge and information of being a mom. So then you need to define, like, who are you now with all this motherhood energy that you have? So then it started this process of reconnection with myself. I started again to dive deep into personal development. I did all the Tony Robbins workshops, read all the books, podcasts, everything. And then one day I was in one of those classes that I took, and I got the message really clear that you need to start teaching this. Because what was the point to learn so much if I wasn't sharing it? So that message made me do two things, or it bring me to create two things. One was a nonprofit that is called Your Life at 10, where I teach people how to be happy, just the mindfulness of it. But it's just for the low income population. And why I wanted to base on them? Because they are too busy surviving So they simple things that you and I could know, they don't pay attention to those things, like deep breaths. They never think about that because they're busy surviving. So I just give them really simple tools to make their lives a little bit better. And the other thing that I created with after that message was a coaching program for moms. Also, again, to bring them back to themselves and find happiness and fulfillment. Because I know how easy it is. And I only have one kid. So imagine if I had more. So people that have more, it's even more difficult to, or more easy actually, to lose yourself in this process of motherhood. As, well, for example, especially stay-at-home moms, it's really hard. They lose their purpose too because they lose like their career, and so it is not easy to reconnect with yourself. Like it's not going to happen automatically. You need to do the work for it. So that's why I created this coaching program to support moms and
That's
the Facebook group and all that. So yeah.
That's phenomenal, Natalia. Thank you so much for sharing everything. And like I said at the beginning, you are incredible. I would love to break everything into pieces. Let's, because you said so much in there that I'm like, oh, wow, wow, wow. First of all, congratulations for being a mom. Secondly, I would love to say congratulations for really helping the ones that are more in disadvantage. And when you are facing that survival mode, like you said, it's very, very hard to have time for yourself. And the third thing I really want to bring in, you have so much knowledge, and your program is definitely beautifully designed to really empower them. And like you said, after motherhood, after you give birth, you do get a new identity. I have two as well. I have two under two at the moment. So it's busy, but I love being busy. But every single time, because I work with moms in business as well, I see that even if they have three, four, five children, after every single birth, they are a new person. And
Totally.
absolutely, I'm very intrigued to find out more about your spirituality journey because what you mentioned early on at the beginning, it's super exciting for me as well. What is Orosoma?
Orosoma are these beautiful bottles. It is actually it was born in England. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe so it is a system of color, crystals, and essence. So there are like 120 of these bottles, and it's super magical. The person who developed these bottles, she lost her physical sight, but she had the third eye open. So when she created the bottles, she realized that we are the colors we choose, and those reveal your needs. So you stand in
Wow.
front of these bottles and you pick four, the ones that calls you the most. So those are your colors. Like, but there's a message behind the colors. So then the consultant, in this case me, just interprets the colors that you choose, and it has like all your potentials, your challenges, like all that. And you use the bottles in your body like it's a body oil. And since I mentioned it has crystals, so it really works with the chakras. Like it's a beautiful, beautiful system because it helps you to become the best version of yourself, but usually in a really gentle way. So it's not like an abrupt change. So it's a beautiful system. They also have commanders that is to clean your aura every day. I use the one every single time. Like before a session like this, I will put the turquoise around the room because it's about creativity, connection, communication, and all that. So it is a beautiful system that I fell in love long time ago.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I definitely learned something new. And I thought I'm into the spirituality. I know a lot about energy, and this is what helped me and my business to grow as well when I understood who I was, and not just in my physical body, but as it's like my soul. So
Mhm.
I love when you mention about that we need to kind of go back to our needs. So if those colors can kind of go back to who we are and what do we need, yeah. So you mentioned about fulfillment. What fulfillment means to you?
Fulfillment means do you feel happy on your own skin, because when I had that realization, well, that I was completely lost, then I started realizing like, oh, no wonder why you have everything, right? I had a great husband, I had a great kid, and my mom is with us, we live really well, but something was missing. So not everything was like I didn't feel completely fulfilled. Something was missing. And I kind of felt bad in a way, like, why, who am I to ask for more, right? Um, but then, yeah, something went missing. So then when I started this process again, I realized like, oh, this is what it was. I was disconnected from myself. And that's the first thing that I teach moms is like, the first thing is to reconnect with who you are, accept and love yourself unconditionally, because everything comes from your worth, right? Your self-worth. And I struggled with that for many, many years. I had a really deep rooted wrong belief, limiting belief that I wasn't enough. So I always was kind of fighting with that until finally is it all this process of this work of personal development helped me to shift that. But that takes work and time. But so for me, fulfillment is that. It's not like everything in your life is perfect. It's not about that. It is about that feeling that what you're doing, it has a meaning, that you know that you're worth it, that you know that you're making an impact in the world. So like you feel good about yourself.
Absolutely. You feel the joy and you do it with ease without even realizing. Everything just flows because it's true to who you are. And yes, I love that.
Exactly. Everything starts flowing a lot easier instead of you trying to push so hard. That's why we are a lot of managers so exhausted all the time because you're just pushing against everything, like make it happen. But then when you are connected and aligned, everything just flows in a lot easier way.
Fantastic. So, Natalia, what is your secret? What would you say to whoever is listening to us? One step that they can take today to make that happen for themselves, to be aligned, to go more into who they are.
My number one secret is to dedicate time for self-reflection, to really slow down, stop, ask the hard questions. Because what happens is like, yes, we do have this nagging little voice inside, right? But we want to distract ourselves from it. Because I get it, it can be scary. When you keep, like, I kept listening that little voice before, like, oh, there's something missing, there's something missing. But I wasn't scared, like, what if I need to change all my life? But it could be a really scary moment. So you just ignoring it and just keep ignoring it until it's just so loud that it's like, okay, I cannot keep ignoring it anymore. But then you take the time to analyze. I love journaling. I think journaling is one of the best ways to for self-reflection, and just answer the questions like, who am I? What do I want in life? Because yes, I could have the house, the husband, the kids, and everything, but is that what I wanted in my life? Like, what do I want to do with my life? Is different. So for me, self-reflection is like the number one thing, and that we don't dedicate enough time. And also, I often said that self-reflection for me is the true self-care, because self-care is not just a massage of a bubble bath. Yes, those things are great, but if we don't do the inner work, that is just physical and that kind of goes away. The growth that you find while you sit down and do the reflection or ask the questions, that never goes away. That stays with you forever. So I hope that moms have that time. And I'm a really big believer of morning routines. So especially in the morning, take your time before you dedicate your time and energy to everybody else. Take time for yourself first, recharge, re-energize yourself, your soul, your everything, and then you can pour to everybody else.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, what sort of recharging methods do you have?
Like I said, I have my morning routine that is like very recharging. In my morning routine, what I do is 10 minutes of yoga. It's just a simple routine, but every morning, 10 minutes. So that's really good for your body and mind as well. Meditation. I've been meditating since I was with this organization so long. Well, on and off. I was kind of on and off, not very consistent. But since COVID, that was good. That was good thing that COVID left, because we didn't have to go anywhere or rush anywhere. Then my meditation practice was started getting consistently. And then I start seeing the effects of it. Because the more you do it like consistently, then you start noticing, oh, yes, I am more calm. I'm not so reactive. I am more conscious of the things before I say them. So I'm like, oh, I like this. So then you keep doing it. So meditation is a great way to recharge, reflection, like I said. And also, I think one thing that is really good to recharge is to connect with your passions. with something that you used to love that you stopped doing. For me, is the dance. I used to love some dancing all the time. Like when I was living in Costa Rica, I was teaching it, so I would dance all day. And then you stop. Even though you loved it, you just stop. So then reconnecting with that, it makes me so happy. Like the time flies. So those things, those little things. And I know mom says like, oh, but I never like anything like that. I don't have any passions. Just explore them. Explore something that you feel that can give you that energy back. So sign up for different classes, painting, photography, baking, I don't know, something. Try different things and find something that you find connected to it. And then when we dedicate some time to that, you feel recharged and energized. And of course,
Yes.
working out, exercise, that's also great. Just a quick walk outside, it gives you tons of energy.
It does indeed. And I'm just so glad that you are at that stage of your life that you implemented this in your morning routine. And I'm always saying to my clients as well, you need to find the things that will work for you. We are all different, but you need
Yeah,
to find your own way. And like you said, you need to try and be consistent because you're not going to see it in 3 days straight away, any benefits unless you do it. And usually they are saying that takes 21 days for a habit to really be learned. So
really
try for
sticking.
3 weeks. Natalia, let's go back at the beginning of the podcast. You mentioned that you started all the fireworks and all the Orosoma and everything and more into spirituality. And then motherhood hit. And if I remember right, you said that you forgot everything about that. Tell me what happened there.
Um, what happened? I don't know. I just completely dedicate myself to my kids, like this overwhelming new task, right? Because it is overwhelming the first months. It was just so hard. Like, but now all of a sudden you need to make sure that this little creature is alive, So, so I think, yeah, I think between like being a little bit overwhelmed and in this new stage, I little by little, it wasn't probably abruptly, but just little by little, I just dedicated more time to him and the things that he needed it and the house and the husband. And then I little by little started like getting away from the things that I liked it. And we also have a company together, like a family company. So that also needed my attention. So I was working with that as well. So yeah, I don't know exactly how that happened, but it was very subtle, like very little by little. You stop doing one thing, then you stop doing the other one, and then like that, time flies, and then one day it's like 7 years later. I'm like, wait a minute, what is it that I like again?
So, what made, I'm asking that because we all have moments in our lives when we try different things, we like them, and then life kicks in. Life happens, and we let them out there, and we don't go back to whatever we used to like or whatever was bringing us joy. And especially when you start being a mom, you have all that guilt and you feel like you don't really prioritize yourself anymore. So, what was for you? What do you think it made you to really go back to it and say, like, okay, this time I'm gonna find more time to dedicate to that? And how that
Mhm.
made you feel once you started it again?
Yes, it was. It wasn't nothing grandiose or a breakthrough. I was talking to my son. I think it was second grade teacher. So that's why I said he was probably 7 or 8. And we were talking, and like I said, oh, here, at least in this country, you have the knowledge that around 18 years old they're gonna leave because they go to college. So I knew that. But then I don't know what happened that day that we were talking to her, and she's like, yeah, well, time's gonna fly and soon he's gonna leave. And that's what I started thinking, like, wait, yes, I know he's gonna leave. Then what? Then what? Like, what am I gonna do when I don't have to drive him around, cook for him, like take him to these classes? And like all my attention was on him, mostly. So then I said, like, then what? He's not gonna be around. Like, who am I then? So then that's what it started, like this reconnection. And like it was very sudden. Then I signed up for one class. I took that class. Then I did like a second level of Orosoma. And I get back to that, and that is so beautiful. I felt that the battles also helped me kind of reconnect with myself. And then you start feeling the difference, because one thing that I noticed when I started the process is that I was often angry. Not necessarily angry with my husband or my kid, but they were the ones that paid for it, unfortunately. But there was an anger, like a frustration. I don't know what it was. And now I realize, like then later, I realized that, of course, I was so frustrated with myself and angry with myself that I let myself go so lost. So then when I started dedicating more time to myself, and then I joined a gym, I went to like doing things for me, moving me in the list of the priorities, right, to the top. Then you start feeling that like, oh, okay, I'm not that reactive anymore. I'm not that angry anymore because I'm dedicating time to myself again. And I dedicating time for my morning rituals again, like because that was kind of gone for a while. So you start seeing the change, and that's what it makes you keep going. But like you said, it's not gonna happen in the first week or in the first 2 weeks. No, it takes time. And you also need to pay attention because sometimes it's very subtle. It's not like a huge thing. It's just that very subtle, but then you notice, oh, I used to react so badly if this happened before. Now I don't. So you start like noticing those little changes. And that's also why I love journaling, because if you don't write them down, you're probably going to forget that that happened. So I love to say, oh, today something happened, and then you realize how much I have grown, I have changed. So then you start notice those little changes, and that's where it keeps you going. And that's also why I like to tell people and my clients, like, really celebrate your small wins. That's a win. Oh, you didn't react to something that you used to. That's a win. Celebrate it, acknowledge it, because those little wins are the ones that create the momentum to keep going.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can relate to absolutely everything you said. I've been there,
Oh,
I've
right.
been through that 100%. And when you mention about the anger and the frustration, this is the first sign that everyone can actually see. Like if you are running from a lake, like if you are not happy with you, this is when you're going to be angry. This is when your inner self is like trying to tell you that you're doing something wrong, which most of the cases is you're not listening to yourself. So going
Mhm.
back to your passions, like you said, that's the first thing you can do. Very easy, small steps. You don't need to go all in doing hundreds of things. Just do something different and try something new and see what's
Mhm.
going to work for you. So, yeah, it's beautiful. Now, what would you say? Because I know you work with lots of clients, especially moms. Tell me a successful story. I know you have many, but just pick one and share with us a story that made you feel that you made a difference.
Yes, there was a woman. She was um, a very energetic woman. Like she had a lot of energy. She has a spa, and she had a kid, probably, yeah, under 5. I don't remember the age. And again, like, so she was busy, of course, because she had a kid and she had a spa, so she was working really busy. But again, something was missing in her life, but she couldn't point it out. Like she was like, I don't know what it is, but so then we started working together, and it was really simple things again that you can implement in your daily rituals and little by little. And at the end of the program, she sent me a beautiful voice message. She's like, "Oh my God, my life is completely transformed." Like, and it's just for little things. Like I wake up and I feel happy. Yes, I still have a million things to do. I still have to work in the spa and take care of my son, but your mindset is so completely different. So she really is like so happy and grateful. And for example, for her, that was that gratefulness, like a simple practice of be grateful every day and write it down. That's what she said that really helped her focus on all the good things that she already had, but she wasn't paying attention to it because she was just focusing on how hard everything was. Because that happened to everybody. Wherever you focus on, the energy goes.
Yep.
So she was focusing on how everything is so hard and difficult and that. So of course everything was hard and difficult all the time. But then I say, okay, you're gonna write down every night 3 things that you're grateful for. It doesn't matter if in the beginning it's gonna be the 3 same things. It doesn't matter. You're gonna start, and then you start focusing on the good things around you, and then the list is gonna grow and grow and grow and grow. And then you're gonna focus on that, and the more good things are gonna happen to you as well. So like that, it's not like it doesn't have to be complicated. Yes, you need to dedicate time for it and do the work, but it's all worth it.
Congratulations for that. And I'm so happy for your client that she, with something so small, because it's easy. This is what I'm keep saying. The first, I think the last 5 years I've been coaching, I say like it's easy. I mean, doesn't need to be complicated. It can be really, really easy when you start and try it. Do it messy, just be it an experiment, make it fun and just do it. What will be your message to the moms that are exhausted, are really tired, are frustrated, and they feel the time is against them and they don't know where to start? What would you say? What can they do?
I feel that the most important thing is to realize where are you focusing on, like I just said, because that's a reality. Yes, moms are busy, are tired, are exhausted. Oh, look at that, sweetie. Yes, that is a reality. Moms are tired and exhausted, but that's the problem. We are just focusing on that and we just keep complaining about it, but we don't want to do anything. And like we were saying, you can take 10, 15 minutes a day just to, okay, write down how you're feeling, or the 5 minutes to do a mindfulness breathing. It's just little things, little things that you start incorporating in your day that can make the difference. But again, you need to separate the time, because when you're busy and say, oh yeah, someday I want to do this. No, put it in your calendar first. Like you put the doctor's appointments, right? Or all your kids' soccer lessons or piano lessons, whatever. You put that in your schedule and you show up. So this is the same for you. Put it in your schedule. Wednesday from 10 to 10:30, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write, or whatever it is, or I'm gonna go for a class and try something new. Like it is just a decision of, okay, I'm gonna take care of myself and I'm gonna give myself the priority that I need. It's not gonna happen like automatically. You might forget the first couple of times. So that's why I was like, put in the calendar, put alarms, because I know that happened to me. I'm like, oh yes, I signed up for a flamenco class one time because I love dancing, right? And I started this process. I got the skirt, I got the shoes, I got everything. I was super excited. For the time when the time of the class came, I forgot. And now I think that maybe because in the back of my mind I felt that I didn't deserve that. Like, who am I? You feel guilty. Like, why you're not like cooking or doing something more for your family instead of going for a class? And I was so mad at myself. So the next time, of course, I put a million alarms. But then it's like, yes, you deserve it because you are taking care of your family, because you gave birth to your kids and you deserve it. You are worth it. And the time that you dedicate to yourself, they're going to benefit from it as well. Because if you were well, everybody around you is going to be well. It's just like that. And we think it is not. It's like, oh no, we need to keep going because they need me. They don't need an exhausted mom. They need a happy, fulfilled mom. So that's
Yeah.
why I said.
That's so beautiful. Everything you just said, absolutely. And that's the beauty of it, because at the end of the day, I guarantee you, if you start, whoever is listening or whoever is watching us, if you just start doing something for yourself, something that brings you joy, something to connect back to who you were, even as a child, try to remember what sort of things did you like when you were a child. Go back to that. And like you said, it's going to be a ripple effect. Everyone else around you will benefit because it's a mirror, and your kid will be so much happier, and even the family dynamics will just change very quick. So
Yes, it does very quickly. And the most important thing too is that you're setting an example for your kids. We kind of forget that. If we just exhausting ourselves, that's where we're telling our kids that it's okay. But you cannot keep going and going and giving and giving and giving without recharging. And that is not true. So we need to set a good example for our kids of how you take care of yourself, and then you take care of themselves, everybody else. So that's what they learn. They learn by seeing what you're doing.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's beautiful. So Natalia, tell us more about the program. So I know you mentioned the program for moms. Just tell us who who is it for? Like for moms, obviously, but just tell us a bit more about it. And if someone wants to join you, what should they expect from it?
Okay. So it's a coaching program for moms that is from 8 weeks. It is 6 topics, but I like to have the first week as an introduction where I explain our Orosoma because we're going to use it and we do an assessment and all that. And the last session is just a conclusion, a celebration, a party. So we dive deep into all these important topics little by little. So each week we're going to dive into all these things, like how to reconnect with passions, how to manage your time better, and the real meaning of self-care, like emotional mastery, mindset, of course. So all this, each week we have these topics. They will have a little bit of homework, not a lot, because I know they're busy moms. So just a little bit of things to do during the week. And then that's how, like I said, it's that time for reconnection, for reflection. So because I know sometimes it's just hard to do it by yourself. So that's why I created the group, because when we are in a community, it's easier to support each other. And that's how little by little they find that fulfillment, that purpose again, like they reconnect with themselves. So they can also join the Radiant Mamas Facebook group, where every Thursday I do a live there with one of these topics that's so interested. And soon I'm going to start doing challenges as well, and then all these fun things, just to give you that space for reflection, reconnection, and growth.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I love what you do. So, before I let you go, can you just tell us more about Your Life at 10, the nonprofit? And if someone was to support you, is there a case? Can we jump in? Can we help you with that? Or what sort of, yeah.
So yes, I have a website that's yourlifeat10.org. And there's a donate button there if people is interested. So what I do is that I connect with other organizations that they already have groups, for example. So there is an organization here that teaches English to new immigrants. So I went one night and I talked to them. There are different organizations that contact me, and then we partner together, and then I teach the class. But I also, if I with some funds that I have collected, then I support other causes, like the food pantries, or there is a town close here that they run a spring break, spring break camp for kids. So then I support them. I donated some money for lunches for one day, and some activities the other day. So I support different causes also around it that are related with the projects. But yeah, it's a beautiful project that it brings so much happiness to my life as well when I do it.
That's phenomenal. And thank you so much. We'll definitely put all your details, your Facebook group, your program, everything we're going to put in there. And I will join your group. I'm saying it now. I
Of
will do
course,
my best to clear my diary
I'm
for
gonna send you
Thursday.
the link right away after we finish.
Yes,
Love to
absolutely.
have you
Yes.
there.
Say absolutely. So, Natalia, before I let you go, I have the last question for you. Please tell me what be you means to you, and what's the last message you like to leave the audience with today?
What be you means to me. Be you is to be unapologetically you, without worrying of what other people are going to think about you. That when they ask me, what would you tell your younger self? I always said that, because I spent so many years of my life just worry about what other people were gonna say. So that I couldn't act for who I was. I was just always trying to please others. So to be me is just be, do, act, do however way you want, without thinking about what other people are going to say. And that way, it really helps you reconnect with your true self. Like, remember what you like to do when you were little, like you said before. So that is who you are, your true self. And live each day like it's your last one, because you really don't know. We take so much for granted. We expect to live so many years, but we really don't know. So really enjoy each day. Try to be present wherever you are. Connect with your body where you are right now, and enjoy life in the most that you can.
That's beautiful and so powerful. I love that. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Natalia, so much. And everyone who listened, please go get in touch with her. See how she can help you. Go and check everything she mentioned about the group, the website. I will put all the links, so it's going to be very easy for you to find her. And remember that fire. Send me that fire so we can start and bring some magic in your world. We can really, really do that for you and for your business and for your family. So let's do that together. This was all from today. Keep on shining, keep on smiling.
Oh,
Be Your podcast continues. Sorry?
thank you so much. That's amazing.
Thank you. No worries. It's absolutely fine. And I'm so glad we're going to do lots of things together, Natalia. I'm sure.
Sure.
This was all from today. You take care, everyone. Keep on smiling, keep on shining. Bye.